Hey everyone. So I think by now you would know what is this picture behind me right now. This one right here. This is the July 1 restriction list that is coming into effect for Japan. And for us English players, we are getting a separate one come July 8th. So in this video we're going to talk about what are the hits that we desperately need. Right? We're not going to ban an entire separate universe. We're just going to ban a few more cards, because if we take precedent on what happened before, because we got a separate list already, we got a few more hits, and they were really good hits. They were few, but very effective. So we're going to try and do the same thing as well. There's actually one format right now that is in dire straits, and that is the V Standard or V Premium. And then one where we would like to get some hits in that is Premium, but it's not so bad. But, you know, it's still pretty good to probably keep it in check, right? So that's what I'm really going to focus on. Let's kind of just get started. The first thing is here that for Standard, I think basically this ban list that we see here is just going to get kind of ported over to the English list as well. Because there's a lot of similarities, and for at least the V and the P side, although those are weird hits, those are not exactly results-based hits. So I'm going to kind of explain. So the first one for Standard, Dark Strain to hit Bastion, and then the Stoicheia hit with the Impulse and Magnolia. These are purely, results-based hits. These are very strong decks. These are definitely outperforming the rest of the meta, at least in Japan, right? But Magnolia has been showing very, very good results in the West as well. So I think this is an easy hit. I do think this will get ported. Same with the Dark Strain. Even though Bastion hasn't made such a big splash, Dark Strain kind of makes it really hard for, you know, makes Bastion very oppressive in a pretty annoying way. Just being able to just pop off really hard and nothing much you can do is really sad. So I can see this getting hit too. So I think these standard hits, very, very straightforward, very expected, and I think they're just gonna stay true. Why do I think the V Standard and the V Premium and the Premium ones are gonna stay, even though they've been showing absolutely 0-0 kind of reactions, or like, you know, 0 play in the Western side? We have seen some of the Nazarl Eugene combos pop up once in a while. They're nothing too super impressive, but these hits were because they just don't like these kind of cards. That's just kind of it. For the Kokushi Garasu, they were afraid of the Fugen combo that's become so easy, so they're gonna hit it. This is kind of like hitting the hard legs, right? You know, maybe it becomes too easy to pop him off, so let's just hit it now. And then the Nazarl again, you know, pretty annoying game plan, pretty unfun. Let's just hit it and not worry about it. So I think these will still stay because they're not based on any results, any specific results. They're just based on the card itself being unfun, and then Bushiroad going, hey, let's just eat it. So I think those will stay. What should really change though, to a V Standard or V Premium though, for the West, is we have a huge Prism problem. And this Prism problem has not disappeared, right? It's been going on for a long, long time. They tried to minimize, they hit Prism in the previous list. And to be honest, it's still really, really good deck. The problem with Prism, right, is not that, you know, it's not like, you can ban a lot of things surrounding the Prism engine, but the Prism engine is just that good. That's just how it is. The Prism engine is so good, you can splash it with literally anything else. It is so self-sufficient, it is so free. It does basically anything you want to do, just draws a billion cards. You really need to hit that Prism engine because it's just too good. So one way to hit it is just ban Rosa. Right? Just straight up ban Rosa. Make it so it's harder for Prism to actually make consistent, like get consistent cards off the top 7. And sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss, right? So, you know, that's bad times. But then it gives like a free 10k front row buff, which is really, really, it just kind of, why? Why does it do that? So if we ban that, it makes it so you're going to be forced to run other Prism cards, you'll be forced to run the grade 4 as well, you'll be forced to bind other things, your power lines won't hit as big, you still have a really good plussing card and power card called Clear, which is great. But yeah, you just don't have that extra Rosa that just pushes everything over the top. You have to think that when a Rosa comes into play as well from the binder, it's basically giving 3 force markers, right? 3 force markers because it's giving you a front row plus 10k. So that can make really, really annoying columns, and once that is gone, consistency is a bit less, and you're forced to run less good cards. And then you can probably also print more support for Prism. Isn't that a crazy idea? Right now, if you were to print support for Prism, right, Prism, super strong. But because now you've actually nerfed the consistency, you can print like the second level of Prisms, right? We haven't seen Labrador and all that, so you can start printing those out. And maybe you will see more Prisms in V, right? So that's technically a plus. The other thing you can also hit is something like Restrict Vert to 1. But that will actually just kill the deck, and it will be pretty bad. At least hitting Rosa means that, you know, the deck is still relatively playable, and then you can still, you know, albeit at like a lesser power level, but you can still play it. You just don't have this ridiculous engine that just makes everything work, right? That's it. The other deck that's been showing a lot of problems is Gurgit, right? I think when they hit Percival to 1, they were going, that was a step in the right direction, right? They're like, okay, you know, Golds are really strong, Spectral is really good. Let's just hit that Percival to 1, because Percival is just a really strong card, right? But then they unrestricted it with Gurgit, right? You can now play the 1 Percival of Gurgit, and the format has just been absolutely a garbaggio, right? It's not fun. It's not fun. So I think they should just either just straight up ban Percival, right? Or re-implement that choice restriction with Gurgit. I think just banning Percival is just that it. Because we have Holy Shine coming out soon, and, you know, still like 3 Excel circles on the first Holy Shine. Seems kind of dumb, right? It actually just seems kind of dumb. People are going to say, hey, you know, that's unfair for Bluish Flames, because now Prominence core doesn't get to... Who cares? Prominence hasn't done anything. That's just it. We'll print better stuff. Maybe like once they change this, they can print like a better Percival. At least it is like more restricted. You could... People say errata it, right? But I think we're past the point of errata. Normally, you don't really want to errata cards unless there's a printing coming up. We're seeing the next clan collection. There's definitely no printing for Percival, so errata is kind of just, I think, out of the picture. And we're just so used to the cards now, right? It's been out for 2 years. Printing an errata after 2 years is a pretty bad idea. So I think just ban Percival, and I think V format is pretty saved. We have some cool cards coming out for clan collection as well, and they will start making a splash, in my opinion, once those 2 decks are gone. So let's kind of talk premium. What needs to be hit in premium? I think, first off, let's talk about Order Colony. This has been a deck that a lot of people are hyping up and getting on the train. I think it's been played more than any other premium deck in a lot of places. At least in places like the States. We see it in Europe a bit as well. SCA, not so much. To be fair, there are people playing around Order Colony nowadays. People are starting to learn how to play against it. But in terms of like results and it's showing in the past season, it is still very, very good. And it is getting more support with the new premium collection coming out. So I do think it probably does need to be toned down a notch. And I think the way to do it is just restricting Ruination and the book. This will definitely really just lower the consistency of this entire deck. And at least still let you play with like Gridora plus the new Stride from Premium Collection, which is a very, very strong combo, right? But it kind of forces the deck to be aggressive, playing like this kind of floodgate aggressive kind of deck, while not having like the insane hand that it will normally get, or this like insane early push with like the plus, the 3+10Ks and all that. So I think that's enough for now, right? And it also just helps against like, you know, plays. It's not just that free for like a normal Order Colony player to just like do their stuff and that's it, right? They'll have to need to think about a better game plan or better utilize their resources. And also helps normal players, right? It's technically there's like, it's a much more unfun kind of deck to play against, but you know, when you don't have to worry about your opponent drawing 3 cards every turn or something like that, then yeah, I think that can help people out. Then finally for premium, we have the Nightmare Dolls that has been still performing very, very well. All we just need to do is just kind of restrict, choice restrict Ginny and Leslie. So you can either use one or the other. You can either use, if you want to play Leslie with the Alice, then you can't use Ginny. So it's a bit harder to pull off your combos. But if you just want to play like with Alice without the Leslie, you can play Ginny and Alice and still have that combo going. And that should be alright. I don't think we need to hit it that hard, right? We do have Prem Collection that just got released. The overall level of power levels of Prem Collection has just gotten stronger. Premium, in a way, has gotten stronger. So I think we should let that kind of settle down and there are much more competitive decks out there right now that can, you know, at least put up a fight against Nightmare Dolls. So I think we should just let that settle in. Just give these two decks a little bit of a hit and see where it goes. Do bear in mind that we do have like another ban list in like 3 months, probably around like September, something like that. So we can gauge like what's happening in the current meta, and then decide if anything needs to get hit later on. Right, that's the advantage of these 3-month ban lists. We don't need to make super huge, big, destructive sweeps to get rid of everything. We can just do it kind of more incrementally, and I think that's where it should be, especially with like Clan Collection as well coming out later on for us in English too. So I think those hits for those 2 hits for each kind of each format, right? 2 for V, right? A bit more stronger, while the for Premium slightly less is just good enough, and will tie us into the next ban list. So that's it. That's it. I will see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Let me know your comments. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'll see you guys next time. All right, bye.